In a large organization, group decision-making can prove difficult as different parties often have different ideas or concerns. This presentation demonstrates how to bring a group of decision-makers to a consensus regarding vendor selection for an information system. Vendor selection occurs through a 7-step process. First, relevant stockholders are invited to participate. Second, each stockholder is interviewed and a model of their preferences constructed. Third, the group is invited to meet and revise a consensus model developed from the interviews. In step 4, the group proposes a scoring procedure. In step 5, the group discusses their major differences and redo the scoring procedure. In step 6, the group measures the vendor's performance and uses the consensus model to arrive at one overall score for the vendor. In step 7, the facilitator documents the group's consensus model and the vendor scores and distributes the results throughout the organization. This is a chart representing the preferences of the first expert, the Chief Financial Officer. After the one-on-one interview with the CFO, the analyst found that cost is the highest preference with a weight of 0.5. Ease of use and reputation were rated secondary with a weight of 0.3. This chart represents the preferences of the second expert, the Chief Medical Officer. After the one-on-one interview with the CMO, the analyst found that ease of use is the highest preference with a weight of 0.5. Cost and reputation are secondary with weights of 0.2 and 0.3 respectively. This chart, accumulated after the conclusion of the group meeting and discussion, reflects a consensus of both experts in determining preference. Seen here are two hypothetical vendors that met the components of the experts' preferences. In this table, the experts provide the weights to each preference. The experts found cost most important, with a weight of 0.4, followed by both ease of use and reputation, both weighted at 0.3. These calculations help select the optimal vendor. The overall value of the vendor can be found by calculating the weighted sum of each of their ratings. For example, vendor A's rating for ease of use, which is 100, is multiplied by its weight, which is 0.3. The rating of 50 for cost is multiplied by its weight of 0.4, and the rating of reputation of 0 is multiplied by 0.3. All these numbers are summed to give the overall value of 50. As you can see, vendor B has a higher value than vendor A, so it is recommended to the experts to select vendor B. This table shows a summary of the data, weights, and preferences. As found through calculation on the previous slide, vendor B is the recommended selection. The process of vendor selection is time-consuming and can often be frustrating. After many product demonstrations, the organization may be left more confused than before the start. However, this process engages a large number of clinicians and managers, and it opens up communication and allows for more information to be thoroughly collected and distributed. Furthermore, quantification allows for independent preferences to be expressed in numerical figures, which can then be used objectively to aid decision-making. Finally, conducting interviews allows the experts to relay their opinions without any external influence, and interviews also make the process an engaging and personal experience. In conclusion, participatory vendor selection is a great tool through which an organization can come together and make important decisions in future IT investment.